Good evening. Welcome to this regular scheduled business meeting of the Summersville City Council on this 10th day of November 2025. I cannot go any further without saying happy birthday, Marines. Today is our 250th birthday. So with that said, we'll move right into tonight's agenda with the first item on the agenda being consideration of the council minutes of the meeting we held on October 27th of 2025.
Move to approve, waive the reading.
Second. We got a first and a second. Council, are there any changes or amendments to those minutes as they were presented in your packet?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. Public comment. Nobody other than on the agenda. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Nicholas Intervention Coalition, the NIC, Student Behavior Survey and recognition. Didn't mean to say that. We've got Glisten Mason, Kim Major, and Andrea Cook here tonight. Is that correct?
Andrea may be here.
Okay, Andrea may be.
Yeah,
Okay.
Andrea may be here.
Welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank
Give
you
us
so
the
much.
Student Behavior Survey.
Thank you. For those of you who have seen me do this at principal or Board of Ed meetings, sorry. Sorry, but we just wanted to make sure that every sector of this community has really understands the work that we've been doing and why we do these surveys. So if you hear kids who are in middle school and high school come home and say, I took this long survey, or you hear other parents say, what do they even do with all that? I'm here to tell you. I'm here to let you know. So if you want to go ahead and just click to that, maybe even the next one. And you can do our creative clicking. So what we do in the coalition is we really look at the community and we try to identify protective factors and risk factors. Now these are in 4 different domains, right? So they start within the individual themselves, they go outward toward the family, then outward even further than that into the school and community, and then finally within the greater society, okay? What this means is we're looking for risk factors, and those are the things that are likely to make a person more susceptible to end up with substance abuse issues later in life. And we're trying to find those, obviously, so we can reduce them. We're looking for protective factors, and we're looking for those so that we can shore them up, right? And so today, we're really thinking about in our school and in our community, and the things that we can look for there. You can go to the next slide, thank you. So now, what are they telling us? And the next one? A little bit about the survey itself. For the past 6 years, we've been conducting this biannually. So in 2020, 2022, and 2024, we have surveyed 7th, 9th, and 11th graders exclusively for that time. Now we have an evolution of that survey into what we're calling the NICE Collaborative, the Integrated Community Engagement Collaborative. We will be surveying, we started this year in 2025 fall, surveying all 6th through 12th graders every single year. And the reason that we're doing that is because we're seeing kind of some stagnant things there, but we're also seeing some big measures, and we really want to get those in between. We really want to make sure that it's consistent, that we're really accurate. This last one in 2024, we had the biggest number of responses. We had 90%. Response rate, which is incredible for us. We only really need about an 80% to make it a very reflective look at what's going on. 90% gives us obviously even a greater percentage. You can go ahead, thank you. So we look at a couple of different things to start off with. Now, we give our principals this big, thick book of all of the different questions that we ask, plus correlative data. We have a whole summary that we look at as well to determine the things that we want to focus on. But I wanted to share with you just some of the basics. This is illicit substance use. This is, again, 2024 in the fall, of substance use in the last 30 days. And this is 7th, 9th, and 11th graders. This is about on par with our national average, which is okay. Do we want it lower? Of course, we want it to be 0. But this is about on par with our national average. That next slide. This one is any illicit use in the past year. So this one is, have they tried drugs in the last year? We don't think that this doesn't necessarily mean that they're using them on a regular basis. That's why we ask those two different questions. So substance use in the last 30 days, we consider habitual use, if that makes sense. So you can see that this one, the percentages are a little bit higher, which means that not everybody who's trying it is trying it again, right? That's what that tells us. And again, these are pretty much on par with our national averages. Next slide. And you can click it one more time. So this is a comparison, and before she clicks again, well, yeah. So the 2022 chart, they look very similar, but if you look closer, the one from 2022 has to go up all the way to 20%, and in 2024, it's about half as big as the other chart. So the rates of students who are using substances, everything from cigarettes to alcohol to prescription Medicaid, for prescription drugs, marijuana, all of that. That's all listed out here, and it has gone down significantly. We can go to the next slide and take a look at those. So among 7th graders, cigarettes and vaping has come down 5% or more. Alcohol and marijuana, 3%, and our upperclassmen or high schoolers there, it's about the same, where we're seeing drops in everything, which is great. That's exactly what we want to see. Now, how can we prove that it's our fault, that it's because of the things that we're doing? Well, we're just going to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing. From that exact data, what we do first is you can't fight a fire that you don't know about, right? So the first thing that we do is we really tackle the lack of information. A lot of these parents don't understand that there's an issue, that their children are using these substances. So we make sure that we have social media campaigns, and we make sure that we're out in the community just like this, talking about what's going on, and telling them the information that's coming directly from their children, right? So, and you can click through all those. This is an example of some of the graphics that we've had in the past for all of our stuff. And you can see it's coming from a whole lot of different perspectives, because we know that in communication, it's different people react to different things, right? And then the next thing that we do, and this is going to be the same thing if you want to just kind of click through. The next thing that we do is we take it into the schools. We realize that the schools are the heart of our children's community. It's where they spend most of their time, right? So we know that if we're going to get some education to them, it needs to be there. So we partner with the school board, who have been incredibly lovely with us, and let us come in and do things like signs of suicide, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit, Red Ribbon Week, which we just did at the end of October. We also provide different trainings to grown-ups. We also have a youth action team that's really, really great, where they get to be the leaders in what they want to do next. So we really educate all of the sectors, right, so that we can move forward with those things. And I think that that's working. I think that our approach of making sure that everybody is educated, making sure that everybody knows that there's a fire, is really helping us put it out. But we still got a lot of work to do. And I want to kind of give an example of this is just one little bit of evidence that we look at to be able to determine where we want to put our efforts. But I think this is a really good example of how we look at the data and turn it into action. So one of the other questions is, where are the students using substances? This is very common. It's at home, right? And across the country, it's usually at home. It looks just like this. But I want you to pay attention to that little 20% that's at school. And then it's reflected on the next slide, which is when are students using substances. Again, on the weekends, they're at home on the weekends, where they're probably not supervised and they're partying, they're doing whatever. But if you look at that very last one, during school, that's also about 20%. So when we looked at that, and we had a few other things that we were looking at, but can you take a guess as to what substance that probably is that they're doing in school and during school hours?
Probably vaping.
That's what we thought too. So we looked at other things. We looked at reports of disciplinary actions about vaping. We talked to our teachers. We talked to our principals. We listened to them. And yeah, we're pretty sure that was vaping. So then we start to look at some other things. You can go to the next slide. So this is the average age of onset of use. This means the first time a student tries a substance. What is startling here is that the 7th graders, their average age of onset was 10 years old or younger. 10 years old. This was the first time that they were using a substance. We think that's vaping. And here's another reason that we think it's vaping. That next slide. Those 7th graders, this is the perceived harm of nicotine products. And you can see that those 7th graders, those same 7th graders who said they started trying things when they're 10 years old, 30% of them think there's nothing wrong with nicotine. So all of those things together, and again, this is an example of what we do with all of our data, all of those things together tell us we've got to let these 7th graders know that it's hurting them. So how do we do that? So then what we do is we go back into our bag of tricks, into our education and our experience, and we go, okay, well, we know that we have this really great evidence-based curriculum that is about vaping prevention, and it has a 5th grade curriculum. So how about we target those 5th graders before they go into middle school, before they get with the upperclassmen, when we have a chance to get them before they do that, and we educate them in not only the harms of nicotine, right, because 30% of them don't know that, but this program also talks about rejection techniques, so how to say no. It also talks to them about how the vaping companies are tricking them into trying these products to get them addicted because they want their money. We just started teaching this to the 5th graders at the end of October. I got to teach at Summersville Elementary, so I had all of the 5th graders in the gym, all 50 of them, and they were furious. They were furious at these vaping companies that they were tricking them into thinking that candy was, that something was candy and it was actually bad for them. And it was the first time that anybody had said anything to them about it. So it really, we got to watch it in real time, make an impact on them. So what we're hoping is that, we started this, we started this year, but after we did our surveys this year, so we're hoping that 2026 fall survey data is going to start to reflect that. We're hoping that those 6th graders are saying, I know that it's harmful, at least. That's what we'll start looking at, and then we'll use other metrics to measure how effective that initiative was. You can go to the next slide. One of the other things that was really, really startling to me that also caused us to take some immediate action was even in 2020, we saw that there was a real need for suicide education, for signs of suicide education in our schools. I will tell you, this is something that we've been doing the signs of suicide education for 3 years. This is the 4th year. And it came directly from, again, from the data that we saw in our surveys. What is striking is that these students in Nicholas County are thinking about suicide and attempting suicide at about double the rate of the national average. And that is not okay. That is staggering. And so the educational programming, Signs of Suicide, it's a coping strategy. But it's like a tourniquet. Like we have to look at that as the grown-ups and go, what have we done? What have we done and how do we fix it? Because we've created an environment where this is happening, right? And so it's up to us. The burden on them to change things is not on them. It's not on them, right? It's on us. But until we can figure out what those things are and really fix that problem, we have to teach them how to take care of themselves and how to take care of each other. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We've been delivering that. I've delivered it at Ridgewood Middle School and Ridgewood High School this year, and today did back-to-back sessions at Nicholas County High School. The feedback from them is, yeah, we've seen this. That's how it starts in the classroom. We saw this, we saw it last year. But by the end of the class, we have these discussions where we're normalizing the conversations that they have to have in order to keep themselves safe. So I can even tell a difference in their attitudes by the end of the class versus the beginning of the class. So just wanted to give you another example, and you can go ahead to the next slide. And this is attempts of suicide, and you can see too, I did these just so you could see it's not going down. It's not really moving, so we know that there are other things that we need to do. It's like gone down 1% here and there, within the different age groups, but we're not moving the needle fast enough. So this is something that my attention specifically, through the health department and through my job there, is really hyper-focused on. So I'm working right now also to figure out different ways that we can collect different kinds of data to help us determine what these factors are that are causing these super high numbers. So the reason that we go to this, to all of these meetings, and the sort of purpose of the NICE collaborative and the evolution of this data collection is that we're all community caretakers, right? These are our kids, even if they're not our kids, they're our kids. This is their community. We know that it takes one healthy relationship with an adult for a child to be less likely to commit suicide or to engage in risky behaviors, just one. But we also know that the more connected they feel to their community, the better off they are. We want them not to just survive, we want them to thrive. And the difference between that is that one person, that's survival, that one relationship. But that true connection to their community, that's thriving. And that's good for all of us, right? We want them to stay here. We want them to not just survive, but we want them to stay here in Nicholas County. We want them to be contributing members of the county. And so to make sure that we do that, we need to take care of them. You go to the next slide, and this is the last one. You can click through here. So what we'll be doing, you'll see us out in the town, and this is something that's really important. If you see us with just a booth or a table somewhere, just understand that what we want them to know is that there's somebody here for them. We want to make sure that we're connecting all parts of our community, specifically the parts of our recovery community and our intervention, our treatment, and our prevention sides. We want to make sure that everybody is together in this, because it's going to take every single one of us to help make sure that these kids are thriving. This last picture here I love so much, because if you ever wonder what community looks like, that's it. That's it right there. There you are, Mr. Mayor. And you can go to the last slide. So again, this is just us saying we're challenging everybody to be a true community caretaker. So if we're coming and knocking on your doors, if you see my face and I'm like, hi, and I look like I want something, I do. I do want something. But I wanted to make sure that you understood where those asks are coming from. And I have some handouts, just a one-pager that has some of this data reflected, and then also a brochure about the NICE collaborative. I'm just going to leave, and you guys can take it if you want to. But any questions that you all have, I'm happy to see if I can make up some answers for you.
I think first, I want to thank you. That was quite the presentation, and it's one that typically I'm glad you spoke on, because typically when I get those results of those tests, I always look through those and go home and talk to my wife, who's a teacher, and they've been staggering in the past, so it's good to see that they're coming down.
Yeah.
The suicide is a real issue for me. Recently we saw the NFL player that had a suicide situation. Are they talking to others, or are you finding that out? I mean, I hear the mayor say, see something, say something all the time. In this case, it would be hear something, say something. But I don't know if they actually speak to anyone on that.
Well, one of the things, and I'll tell you, I'll try to answer this by explaining what Signs of Suicide does and what it looks like a little bit. So we go through the class and we talk about what they need to look out for in themselves and in each other, because they're tricky, right? Like some of those signs that something's wrong, they're children. It's not easily identifiable within themselves. And so we're putting that kind of responsibility on them to look out for each other, because they are fiercely loyal to each other.
Right.
So I think that when they know what they're looking for, yes, they are saying something.
Okay.
From the discussions that we're having within that class, those classrooms, I can tell that there's some light bulbs that are going off and things like that. And then at the end of the class, they get what we are calling an exit slip. And it's if they want to talk to somebody after what they've learned in that class, we have the counselors on standby and also their school-based therapist. So they're ready to talk to those kids that day. And that's happened. We've had several of those things. And the whole point of that is to make sure that they feel comfortable and that they do it right then. So we are seeing that. The other thing that we're seeing is in our youth action teams that we've been able to do, because now we're able to be at club days in the schools, we're hearing a lot of those kids talk about suicide. A lot of them, and they're concerned for their friends. They're really, really worried about their friends, and it's something that they want to take on. And I'm really, really, really anxious to see what they do with that, because all we're doing, Andrea and I are going in and we're teaching them how to run a nonprofit for themselves, and then they're taking the reins. So they're learning like the Robert's Rules of Order, and they're learning all of these things, and then they're taking the reins and figuring out what they think with this data is the most important thing that they can address locally too. So that's one of the things that has come up in every single one of them. So they are talking about it.
Good, that's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Glisten, and your team are doing a fantastic job, thank you.
Well, we're happy to be here.
You guys are starting the annual in every class next year, like from now on?
Yeah, so this year we started our surveys in every single, from 6th through 12th grade, and we'll do it every single year from now on. Because we needed to get deeper into it.
Yeah, that's all. I was sitting here watching the slide, and I've got 3 high school age boys, which the years is all in. It's like, man, we need all of them. And you said it, so that's great.
Yeah. So yeah, we're getting in there.
Awesome. Keep it up. That's great.
Thank you.
And council, any other questions? You did a wonderful job.
Appreciate you.
I mean, seriously, got some history with this organization. I was actually involved in the first survey.
Yeah.
And, what makes it work is collaboration, partnership. I was so happy to hear you talk about the Board of Education, and they've opened their door, even the fact that you get to go to club days, and, all that's important. And then, all of it is important. All of it is something that's a community issue, not a person issue or an individual group or organization. It's all of our issue.
That's right.
It's exciting to see some of the numbers go down. Obviously, we want them to go completely down, but the reality of the matter is, with the challenges of society, that will probably never happen. But you did a wonderful presentation. I cannot say enough positive about the NIC and the work that you do in our community, not just in the schools, but in the entire community. And you've made an impact, you've made a difference, and I think what you just displayed there shows us. And by the way, you did an excellent presentation.
Well, thank you. And for me, I just got here in March, so I'm just riding the coattails of people like Kim Major, who have been like really boots on the ground doing the work on a volunteer basis for years now. And so I'm real happy that I get to come in.
And Kim, I wish we would have.
Like, look at all they've done.
I wish we would have had her to do the first one, because I can remember when we went to the Board of Education, it was like, who's on first, who's on second? 3 of us did what you did, and we took a lot longer. No, that was excellent. That was excellent. So thank you. And I'd also like to mention Craig Chapman's with us, and I understand you're now the president of the NIC. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then while I was gone on my short little trip recently, I also got word that the executive director has resigned. Is that correct? So we're going to be back in search of another executive director. So just to kind of update council, this is where some of our funding goes. We support the NIC. We actually contribute in the compensation of the executive director, and then of course partner and collaborate any way we can. Assistance in grants, so on and so forth, and it's a wonderful thing for our community. And then the other thing that is also neat about it is it's collaborations and partnerships of so many different people, and a lot of it's volunteer.
So much volunteer, and
Yeah.
so many different organizations and nonprofits are involved in the NIC. It's a really beautiful collaborative effort, and a community one. And we just really support, we really appreciate the support that we've received from the city council. It's been a lovely partnership so far. I certainly have been super impressed with the way that you all have supported the NIC, and very, very, very grateful too.
And I have no reservation the city will continue to do that. No
This
reservation.
I'm gonna hand it over.
is a perfect segue to me.
There's the segue, Kim. Jump on that.
There it is. Good evening, everyone. Today I have the distinct honor of recognizing someone whose dedication and vision left an indelible mark on the Nicholas Intervention Coalition, Mayor Robert Schaefer. Schaefer has been more than a contributor, he's been a catalyst. His unwavering commitment to youth wellness, community engagement, and collaborative problem solving has helped shape the very foundation of this coalition. His ability to connect partners, inspire action, and keep our mission focused has strengthened our outreach and deepened our impact. Thanks to Mayor's leadership, we've not only expanded our reach, we've built trust, momentum, and a shared sense of purpose. So today, we thank you. Thank you for your service, for your insight, and for your belief that we can achieve together. So your legacy is woven into the fabric of this coalition, and we are better because of you. So I thank you very much, and we have something for you. And Andrea, come on up. Come on up. We would like to present you with this flag. It's a community caretaker, and then there's some Nick goodies in there for you as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Your words were so kind.
Thank you.
And it's not about an individual, it's about all of us. And all of you, I mean, we've been there since the beginning. I mean, it takes all of us. And we've done a great job together. Thank you for the kind
Appreciate
words.
it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so
Thank you
much.
for your support.
Yeah.
Yes,
Andrea,
yes,
thank you.
absolutely. Listen, anybody else from the coalition, Craig, want to come up? It's all going back.
Mr. Postway, how you doing, buddy?
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you.
Yeah, we've got a short meeting, so it won't be long. Okay, thank you very much. And by the way, just continue the work, the great work, and I have no reservation at all. Great things are happening, and they will continue in our community for the fight against substance abuse and recovery and prevention. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a proclamation. It's a mayoral proclamation in harmony with Christian Heritage Week in West Virginia. Whereas Thanksgiving Week marks the 34th consecutive Christian Heritage Week in West Virginia, thus continuing a tradition of annual proclamations beginning with Governor Gaston Caperton in 1992 through 1996, continued by Governor Cecil Underwood from 97 to 2000, then Governor Bob Wise from 2001 to 2004, Governor Joe Manchin from 2005 to 2010, Governor Earl Ray Tomlin from 2011 to 2016, Governor Justice from 2017 to 2024, and Governor Patrick Morrisey in 2025. Whereas 243 mayors from 143 cities, towns, and villages throughout the state of West Virginia have proclaimed Christian Heritage Week since 2001. And whereas local churches are encouraged to participate with relevant Sunday school lessons, sermons, patriotic song services, youth programs, and prayer meetings. Whereas Psalms 127-1 warns, "Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord kept the city, the watchmen walk within, but in vain. Now therefore, let it be known that November 23rd through the 29th of 2005, Thanksgiving Week, is hereby proclaimed Christian Heritage Week in the city of Summersville, West Virginia. And I invite all citizens to join me in this observance, each in their own way. Signed under my hand, Robert L. Schaefer, Mayor of the city of Summersville." Okay. Recorder's report.
Very nice. I have no report this evening, but I do want just to give the council an update. I did receive, we now have the survey completed for the annexation of the school. So I'll be working with the attorney's office now to kind of tidy that all up with the goal of getting that completed before Robert leaves. So I'm working hard for that, Dave, to get that completed for you. So I should have more information at the next meeting on that.
Yeah, we've got a goal with the Board of Education to get the annexation of the school before the end of the year.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary. Okay, Mayor's report. Council, I wanted to let you know that the city audit for fiscal year 24-25 will take place starting Wednesday through the 14th. So our auditor will be here and we'll be under an audit. Of course, that's the preliminaries. It still takes some time before it's completed. Council, I also want to remind you that the city Thanksgiving luncheon is Thursday, the 20th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And of course, the entire community is invited. This is our fellowship time with our citizens and all who want to come. It's open to everybody. I will tell you that it's a dine-in only event. We do make an exception for shut-ins and people that are homebound. For them to get a meal, all they have to do is call the Arena and Conference Center, 304-872-3722, and they can get an order put in that will be ready for pickup the day of the meal. But more importantly, council, this is a meal that's served by the mayor and city council and the recorder. So what I would like you to do before you leave today is give me some kind of confirmation if you'll be able to make it that day to serve. If you don't know tonight because of scheduling conflict, please just get a hold of Mary Ann before the week's end and let her know whether you plan to attend to help us serve. But again, it's a great time, a great fellowship, and it's a good thing for the community. So it's a traditional Thanksgiving meal, compliments of the city of Summersville, served by yours truly. Okay, another exciting thing, council, is we had the recreational complex bid opening. It actually took place last Tuesday. There were actually 6 companies that bid. The winning bid was High Point Construction Group. They're actually out of Buchanan. And their bid was $10,325,575.64. Excitingly, that bid came in competitive. Yeah, I mean, it was it was kind of where we wanted it to be. I will tell you that the high bid was over $15 million, so there was a disparity in $5 million. But we're underway to get that bid processed and accepted, and then I will have a meeting with John Stump on Wednesday because right behind it comes the financing with the bonds and the financing. So we're getting all that taken care of as well, and we hope to have that in place. We've already solicited the banks to bid on the bonds, and the bonds are actually $12 million. What is not in this bid is we pulled out of this bid the AstroTurf and the lighting because we went to specialty companies for that. So it's really a $12 million project, but this bid came in well within a number that we can work with to make it work. The bonding will come here shortly. I'll talk to John Stump, our bond attorney, on Wednesday, and we'll get everything underway with it and hopefully get it in place before the end of November. The other thing that I would like to say is this. Tomorrow is a very important day in our country. Happens to be Veterans Day. It's an opportunity for us to honor the service and sacrifice of our veterans. Those who have served in harm's way, upheld our nation's ideals, and carried a burden few of us will ever fully understand. Their service stands for the very best of America. Courage under fire, loyalty to comrades, and faith in the mission. And that very mission is something that each and every one of us enjoy every day, and that's our freedom. So on behalf of the city of Summersville, I want to thank on behalf of all of us, every veteran, for their service to this country. It's not just the veteran, it's the veteran family too. Because families make the same sacrifices as the veterans do. And unfortunately, those families, that their loved ones never came home. So keep them in your heart tomorrow. I also want to let you know that the Veterans Memorial Ceremony in Nicholas County is tomorrow at Veterans Memorial Park at 11:11 a.m. And I also would like to highlight a couple of people here with us and recognize their service. Down to my right, we've got BJ Smith, who served in the Army. BJ, thanks for your service.
Thank you.
To my left, I got Mr. Halstead, who served in the Navy. Or the Army. Why did I do that? Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to do push-ups. Sorry about that, Wayne. You'll forgive me.
No, I won't.
And he means he won't too. I am so sorry, Wayne. Wayne Halstead, who served in the Army. Wayne, thanks for your service. Down at the very end, my brother, Chuck Shaw, who served in the United States Marine Corps. Guys, thanks for your service. I would also like to point out, because he's here tonight, Steve Polsterwaite, thank you for your service. You served in the Army. Okay, am I missing anybody else? Okay. Anyway, all I encourage everybody to do tomorrow, and I told my staff this tonight before they left the office, tomorrow is a special day. We take it as a federal holiday. The federal government takes off, all government employees take off, and all I encourage everybody to do is just reach out to one veteran and thank them for their service. Even if it's a text, a handshake, a phone call. Reach out tomorrow and thank a veteran for their service. The way this world's going today, our freedom becomes more and more important every day. So happy Veterans Day to all veterans, and thank you and your families for your sacrifice. Okay, next is council comments. Any
Just
council
more
comments?
kudos to the Nick Mayor. That's awesome. Everything they brought up in the past meetings, it's good stuff. I mean, again, with kids in the community and coaching, you guys, it's awesome what you do.
Amen. Anybody else?
Mayor, thank you for your service. You left one out.
For your service.
I figured when I started with a happy birthday Marine Corps celebration, I pretty much named myself as a Marine. Okay, listen, council, we're going to have a quick executive session, so I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
We've got a first and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion so carries. We'll allow about 5 minutes for council chambers to clear out.